Here's a segment from the latest edition of St. Charles Parish Today, a monthly local talk show.
The main goal of this administration is to work towards always improving the quality of life for our residents. One way we do that is through maintaining parish roadways. Our Public Works Director, Snooki Fosha, is here to discuss how we can all work together to maintain our roads. Thank you. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Mr. Cochran.
The Public Works Department has been able to accomplish a lot under your leadership. Your crews have continued to do remarkable work to enhance drainage. However, today I wanted to focus on the improvements Public Works is making to our parish roadways.
The improvements are ongoing. Every year, we start working on a new maintenance contract. Maintenance contract is funded by the ad valorem taxes, which we do collect from the citizens. The unique thing to understand is that the road millage taxes are dedicated to roads only. Public Works is made up of two separate entities. One is our drainage crews and the other one is our road crews. Each of those taxes are dedicated to drainage or to roads. We get approximately a little over 5 mills. That is an extremely small percentage of the millages that are levied in St. Charles Parish.
How does Public Works determine which road projects need to be complete? How do we go about it?
The road projects receive a priority ranking. When we're looking at road projects, we have two pools of money that we normally pull from. We get about $500,000 every year from the state in order to repair roads. The criteria to meet that $500,000 is where our rankings and the engineering reviews come in. Because it receives a ranking from 1 to 30, and that ranking is based on what's on the road, the traffic, the usage. It's based on the ancillary uses of the road, like hospital, schools, churches, or doctor's offices, those functions. And that's why we see a lot of repetitive roads come up in our annual maintenance plans, because those are the ones that are the most heavily used, and those are the ones that access these type facilities.
You know, more specifically, do the councilmen have a say in roads within their districts? Do they meet with you? And I know they meet with their constituents, and how do we rank those roads?
The councilmen do, as well as yourself and the interior of Public Works. Our maintenance crews point out roads that are deteriorating. Those are the funds that we utilize outside of the money that we get from the state. We spend on annual average over the last 10 years, we spend an average of $1.2 to $1.3 million a year on road repairs. That's just in our annual road maintenance plan. That's not the ones where we fill potholes or do spot repairs. So just our annual maintenance plan is about $1.2 million. The $500,000 that goes towards that comes from the state, again, we have to meet a very stringent criteria. The other additional money is money that we take out of our budget that goes to road repairs that we deem appropriate and at the time in bad condition. We wish we could fix all the roads at one time, but we do have to be prudent with our money, and we do maintain a very tight budget.
Well, it is very important as we move forward to identify the problem areas, as you said, and keep addressing those areas and moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. We have 792 streets in St. Charles Parish and 213.9 miles of streets. And since 2013, we have overlaid 28 miles of those roads and repaired another 7.5 miles of those roads. Now, under your administration, the last 2 years, We have actually focused some of our budget on repairing concrete streets, which has not been addressed in many years. And we're seeing a tremendous deterioration, especially in those where our concrete streets are older. In the last 2 years, we started this project in 2017. We did approximately 140 street panels with about $210,000. This year, we've already completed about 450 street panels, and we've already expended about $560,000. So that's additional money going towards roads that we really had not done in the past.
I haven't touched them at all.
Yes.
Okay, this is a tougher one. What is the total number of improvements made to roads since the millage was passed? Do you have?
You know, we really don't track all of that because the millage is a 10-year millage. We did go back to our most recent repairs. Again, that averages about $1.2 million a year to 1.3. So if you multiply that times 10, you're looking at about $13 million over the last 10 years. Now again, that's not included our normal maintenance activities or work orders that we put in. That is strictly the road maintenance program. It's probably, I don't know how much over that, but you know, our normal street repairs fall into our work order system, our maintenance program. So I didn't have an opportunity to go back. We're working on an asset management program. When that's implemented and we put in some of the historical data, which is where we're at some point we may be able to pull up some of that information. But I can tell you going forward, I will be able to just put parameters in our asset maintenance program, and I will be able to tell you exactly what we spent on road repairs.
Very important.
Yes, it is.
We have a renewal coming up in November. We're asking the residents to pass the road tax again, but we're passing it at the rollback number.
Correct.
How does that affect the road projects?
The road budget is extremely tight. I think what needs to be explained is that all of our road repairs, whether it's in our annual maintenance program or it's inside of our maintenance work order system, all come from dedicated funds, which is the little over 5 mils that we get on those taxes. We do not get any millages, any ad valorem tax for drainage. Drainage is based 100% on sales tax, and that too is a dedicated fund. So we do have our department split between roads and drainage. If in fact we did not have a renewal of the road maintenance tax, it would be very hard to come up with any money at all in order to repair roads, since the 60% of our budget that we get is for drainage, and that is from sales tax, and that is dedicated by the citizens of St. Charles Parish to drainage. So regardless of whether we lose the money that we're getting for the taxing, the ad valorem taxing for roads, I cannot just go into my budget and take money out of the drainage side and utilize for roads. Because of the covenant for the sales tax and voted on by the citizens of St. Charles Parish, they're telling me they want that money for drainage.
Right. What do you think is the most important thing residents need to understand about our road projects?
The most important thing that residents need to understand is patience. And when I say patience, I'm talking about when we decide to overlay a road. Residents, or well, they're put out. they're inconvenienced because they're denied access. We have to figure out alternative ways for them to get to their homes. We try to work around those situations. But as you know, I mean, the roadways that we're paving is their main access to their homes. So, you know, if we can get them to understand the planning that we go through and the passion that we have around repairing and the upkeep of the roads, you know, we just need them to have some patience and understanding when we're repairing roads. And, you know, I'll tell you, we have residents who actually do not want us to repair the roads in front of their house because of the inconvenience. And you know, we do cross those circumstances where we have to have conversations with residents. Because I do it. We look for alternative routes and it is extremely inconvenient.
How long, the typical project, how long would it inconvenience the resident?
Usually it's just a couple of days. Yep. Barry A is one of our prime contractors. They come in and usually within about 60 days, we do the entire maintenance contract, $1.2 million worth.
Is it seasonal?
It is seasonal. We cannot have periods of heavy rainfall. We need some very good weather in order to pour these roads. We do have some type of asphalts that we can mix. Say that we're laying it and we know we might get a rain 12 hours after or 24 hours after. But when we're mixing those type asphalts and putting additives in it, that's costing us a little bit more money to do that.
How can residents help Public Works maintain the roads?
One of the biggest maintenance issues with roads is potholes. And potholes are a lot of times created due to a plugged surface drain or not good drainage. I think the residents are pretty good at reporting those situations to us. But you know, if we can have a resident just maybe clear a drain so we can get that water off the road, because once you have road water that sits on the road and you have climate changes, temperature range changes, you have expansion and contraction of that water, and that leads to a tremendous amount of the starting infrastructure deterioration in the road surface. Once it gets deep enough, that water penetrates to the foundation of that road. Most people think it's just the top 4 to 6 inches where they're looking at the asphalt. But once you get permeation of that water under that asphalt in the roadbed, it quickly deteriorates the rest of the road. So drainage is extremely important to the maintenance of the road.
And if they report the potholes, that gives you a chance to get ahead of it before the pothole grows and grows and grows and as you said, gets to the base of the road and really does significant damage.
Absolutely. And we do maintain a work order system that tracks those and the repairs. And sometimes the issue with getting to them timely is weather. Because while we have our road maintenance program going on during what's the word I'm looking for? Good weather, for lack of another word. To move that forward, a lot of the times the weather is not good when we're trying to do our normal maintenance repairs. And you know, it is just a system in itself, an incumbent system just to keep up with the potholes and get them filled.
I was very impressed after the spillway was opened. Y'all came in and y'all did a lot of blacktopping and asphalt in the spillway launch area.
Mm-hmm.
That was very impressive, and I was very proud to see that we can accomplish that within Public Works. And the guys were very proud of what they were doing out there.
They are. They get extremely excited about doing the larger projects, and that was one. You know, they took an area that previously had not had much done to it, and produced a beautiful finished product. And when they do, they show a lot of ownership in that and excitement around doing those type projects.
I've seen a lot of that under your direction. So thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it, and keep up the good work.
Well, I appreciate it, Mr. Cochran, and you know, the public works guys, morale is increasing. You know, we're doing things for them, classes, learnings, educational processes. We're entering them in. We're doing some on-site training in pumps and equipment, and I think it's all paying off. It pays off with the passion and ownership that they extend to the public when they're out in the field doing these projects.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Look for the entire episode at www.scptoday.com or on SCP TV.